All right. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are and what you're doing. I'm glad you've joined me. I'm Dr. Susan, and this is Play and Learn. And also, we have an extension name for this called Creative Inspiration. So we're going to find ways in which to be creative, to connect, and just be together, even though we can't be sitting next to each other or talking face to face in person. So today, we're going to look at a book, and the book is called What to Do with a Problem. And the book is right here, but it's What Do You Do with a Problem? And the author is Kobi Yamadanda, I believe it is. And we're going to look at some different things that this little boy discovers in what do you do with a problem. So we're going to do some of that, but in the process of that, while we're getting ready to read the book, I want you to take a couple minutes, and if you have some paper and pieces of tape, and maybe a picture or two of yourself or your family doing something together, if you want to gather that up, you can do that and bring it over to the table or wherever your laptop is, and we'll see what we can create out of that together today. But we're going to begin by looking at the book. And of course, the book is entitled, I'll read it again, What Do You Do with a Problem? Okay. In this book, there's a little boy, and he says, I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. Why is it here? He thought. What does it want? What do you do with a problem? I thought. So we're going to take this from his point of view. I wanted to make it just go away. I shooed at it. I scowled at it. I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallows me up? That would be a scary thought. What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? Oh my. What if it takes away all my things? That would be awful to have a problem like that. I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this and I worried about that. And at this point in time, he really didn't even know what the problem was. He just knew it was there. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. As you can see from the side picture, yeah, that looks like a pretty big problem. It's getting awful big. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to. I tried to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. It didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. That's a good thought. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me. It was just there. I realized that I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I really got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. The problem wasn't what I thought it was. I discovered it had something beautiful inside. My problem had an opportunity. I wonder if opportunity was the inside of his problem. It was an opportunity for me to learn and to grow, to be brave and to do something. I guess by taking action, it might solve it. It showed me that it was important to look closely because some opportunities only come once. So now I see the problem differently. I'm not afraid of it anymore because I know it's their secret. Oh, a problem has a secret inside? I wonder if it's wrapped like a present. Let's find out. Every problem has has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. The end. Well, that's an interesting thought and an interesting idea that a problem has something good inside of it. Usually when we think about a problem, we think about, oh my goodness, I have to do something is awful and it's gonna feel sad and make me cry or make me wish I hadn't done something or something along those lines. That a problem is something that really doesn't necessarily mean we created the problem personally or individually. It simply means that there's a situation or something that has to be handled and it's affecting us. So this book gave me a wonderful idea is that I know that what we're doing right now, as I shared earlier, is that right now we can't be together on Sundays. So that felt like a problem when this all first started happening. And you know, people were sick and no one else wanted to be around other people because they might get sick. So there was ways in which we could do things to stop that from happening and also protect ourselves and protect our friends and our family and our loved ones. So it's a problem, but there's always usually a solution to the problem and we have to take steps in order to look at it. And as this little boy discovered, as we went through the story, the book of the story, the story, and the little boy in the story, is that he just tried for it to go away. Well, if I pretend it's not there, I don't have to deal with it. And when that happens, that usually makes the problem bigger. So if we just try to tuck it under the table so we don't see it, or put it under the magazine so we know it's not there, yet if you pick up the magazine, oh, there it is, now I have to do something. So when a problem arises, if we decide within ourselves that what can I do to find the opportunity that this problem offers? So the problem that we're all experiencing, we're not just our neighborhood is experiencing, it's all over the country. And everybody is doing things in different ways in order to make that better. So one of the things that we do to help make things better is we listen. We listen to our family and to our parents, and we also listen to the government and the people, the doctors and all of those people that know a lot about this that we don't know. So what the rules and regulations are is, you stay far away from somebody when you're talking to them, and if you go into the grocery stores and that, you wear a mask so that you don't pick up any germs and you don't give any. And all of this feels very uncomfortable and makes us feel very sad that we can't go and play with our friends and go to school and do all these other things that we're missing. We're saying you can't do this and you can't do that, you can't do this and you can't do that. So after a while, all those can'ts begin to create a huge problem for us individually. So what could we do in order to try not to just pretend it's not there, because it's quite obvious that it is, because it's not only affecting us, it's affecting our moms and our dads and jobs and all the things people normally do that create a fun and loving life. So we have to discover ways in which to still experience the fun, the loving, and the connection to our friends and our family and our community. We still need to find a way to do that. So I got to thinking about it when I was reading the book, before I shared it with you, is that he finally decided to take action on his problem. or on the problem. And we're going to use the problem as the things that we have to do in order to our communities and our worlds to heal and for everybody to be safe. And they can go out and do all the things we used to do. So one of the things that I thought about, we shared last week, we did a project that was a message in a bottle. Since we couldn't see each other, how about it we just send messages to one another? And I was very excited when Maverick sent me a message. So here's the bottle. See, that's the one that we drew out and we made designs, but he sent this one to me. It says Dr. Susan on the, or to Susan on the front. And there's a message in the back of it. So I'm not going to read the message, but anyway, he just said thank you for the lesson that we did and things that were happening in his life. And well, I can just read it. He said, yesterday I cut my leg yesterday, and now I have 6 stitches in my leg. I also have crutches and a splint to walk with. So it's like, oh my goodness. So when I got this message, I thought, wow, I really want to connect with Maverick. So what I did is I texted his mom, and I said, please tell Maverick that I got his message, and I was very excited to receive it, and also wanted to find out how his leg was doing. So I got to find out information about that and tell him that he was in my thoughts and in knowing that he was going to get healthy and well quickly. So the thought I had about the problem that we have is that the problem that we're experiencing that most of us feel the most of is that we can't hug people and we can't shake hands and there's so many can'ts. But let's discuss how we can do something. So this reminded me, when I was talking about this last week, is that let's see, this was one of the ways, and Maverick did it, and it was wonderful to receive that. He put it through my mail slot in my office door, and I was very excited when I got it. And there was 2 things I came up with, and I thought, oh, this is a way to work on the problem. The problem is that we don't feel connected. We don't feel like we can be close to people right now. So how can we fix that? So one of the ways I thought is for us to take the idea here, the note in a bottle, is that to go ahead and make some. If you don't have a pattern or you need a pattern, just go to my email address and I'll create a pattern and I'll email it to your parents, and then you can print it out and then you can make your own bottles. Or you can make your own. It's up to whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But go ahead. Maybe it would be a fun idea to be able to connect with your neighbors. So if we go ahead and create some bottles and write some messages and saying, we miss talking to you, but we wave at you and know that you're in our thoughts and know everything is working and doing well for you. And we'll get together soon. So you could do that. Or just have a happy day. Or sending you love and wishes. Or anything you want to put in the message. And because we can't go up to and hand it to them, we could put it on their front porch. Or we could put it in their mailbox. That would be kind of fun. I know the mailman's not going to take it because he'll have the person's name on it that it goes to, that the message goes to. But that's one of the ways in which we can take action on this problem of feeling separated from our friends, our family. And the other thing you can do too is you can make some special for your friends at school. And if you know where they live, maybe mom or dad will let you create some of the bottles and you can put your message in there, say hi to them, tell them what you're doing, and then go ahead and take them to their houses and put them on their front porches. And then they have a surprise, and that's really cool, and it makes lots of smiles. And that's fun. And you can do that, and you can be very creative, you can be very artistic or whatever you want to do. So that's one of the ways in which we can connect. So that's one of the ways we can take a step to solving what this problem is that we're all dealing with right now. And I know most of it is the fact that we don't feel connected to one another. Now there was another idea that I came up with, and my mother, her name is Evelyn, I told you about her a couple weeks ago, is that we could take our time that we have at home And we could create something very special, either for, it can be for our grandparents, it can be for our aunts or uncles or cousins, people we can't see right now. And it could be for your parents if you wanted to do it that way. Or it could be for your friends. If you have pictures of them, or if you're artistic and you like to draw, you can always draw pictures of the things that you've done together. If you've played sports, or you've gone to the park, or you've gone to the movies or something like that with your friends, draw a picture of it. And we're going to make a photo album out of it. I'm going to show you one that my daughter made for her grandmother, and she sent this to her a while ago when my grandkids were little. But I'm going to bring the pictures out and show you, because then it's a little bit easier, and they're not so glary in the camera. It says shopping with Daddy. This is my grandson that was shopping with his dad, and he's in the basket, as you notice. He's very little at the time. And then on this side, he says, and there's a picture of him taking a nap. So she sent that to my grandmother, to her grandmother. And that's Patrick, and he lives in Colorado. And the grandsons that live in my house with me, I'm going to take this out so you can see this one. And this is Finn, and she wrote a funny little note on the top, and she said, he's in the picture, he said, "It wasn't me, I didn't do it." I don't know what was going on in the picture, but this is Finn when he was littler. And this is Smile, and this is Dominic. And so she did that picture, and she made that. So she went through all the different things that all the boys have been doing, and here's another one at different ages. So here's another one that she did. And this is Finn, and he's playing at the playground. So there's that one, and it says run. And this one over here is when Patrick was little and smiling. And that brings a smile to your face, and also to whoever you give this to, okay? So there was another one. Now here's one. This is a cool one. And this one is a fun one. Yummy. He ate something, looked like a cookie. A chocolate cookie. And this is Patrick. As I said, he's the one that lives in Colorado. So she made that and just put a little word on it. And on this side, he's riding in the car, in his car seat. So these are just simple things that, because they don't live close to us, my mom, or his great-grandma, doesn't get to see that. So she put this whole thing together in a photo album like this. There's lots of different pictures. And she sent it to him. Even the boys did some drawings. And they did drawings and pictures. So there was that she sent to him. See, there's one that says Gigi. That's what they call their great-grandma. And then this is me. Aren't I cute? I think it's very cute. So they did pictures. And so she did that album for my mom, and sent it to her. And she was very excited to receive it. And it shows what they did and what they've done, in their activities and things. So I thought that it would be really nice and fun and creative for us to go ahead and take that same idea and make a photo album. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. We don't have to have a book cover, like this, a photo album. We don't have to have that. We can just, again, use what we have. So we're going to use what we have to create this kind of a thing. All right? So we have 2 pieces of paper. I used cardstock because it's a little thicker. So I have 2. There's a yellow, this is the front of the book. And then there's 3 pages here, okay? And then we have, actually it's more than that because you can use both sides. And this is the back page, the back cover. And how you do your pages first, and then we'll put it together. So I went into here at our center, and I grabbed some pictures of the boys and girls that we had here when they were younger. These are all big boys and girls now, but here's one of the pictures. So we're going to put one here on that page, like that. So when we're just going to you can just use tape. You can use tape. I'd suggest tape instead of glue, because you don't want to ruin the picture if you want to change paper. So just fold a piece of tape, put it on the other side. So just take the tape and fold it like that. Put there, okay? Oops. I think you've probably all done this before. And then you can glue it down here, like that. Okay, that's the first step. I'm going to do 3 pages. There's one. And here's another one. And these young men are out of college and have their own lives right now. They don't live with their parents anymore because they're grown up. But when they were in my youth group, I used to see them every week. Now I don't get to see them very often. I hear from them every once in a while. So there's those pictures, that one. And then this one is another one. And we had an activity here at our center, and this was one of the boys and girls, and I believe he had a balloon. I think that's what he was carrying. Okay, so that's how we connect it, attach it to our page. And what we're doing is we're making a connection here. These are activities that were a while ago, a long time ago, because that's the pictures I had. Hopefully you have pictures that are things that you've done more recently. Now, like I said, if you don't have any pictures, create some. If you want to, you can go ahead and use magazine clippings of places and things that maybe you'd like to do. You really want to share this with your friend. Maybe they play sports and you found pictures of football playing or basketball or or hockey or skateboarding or any of those things that you like to do. And if you don't have a picture of them and you, create one. Go ahead and do the background and then maybe cut it out a little out of construction paper, a picture of you, and stick it on there, and a picture of them and stick it on there. So they're actually in the picture. So you can do that so that that makes a place. So this is part of some of the things that you can do. So we have the paper here. This could be your cover. And one of the things that you can do, draw a picture, you can create a saying, or if you're sending it to someone special, you know, like maybe you're just making this as a surprise for your mom, of some of the things that you've done together with mom. Grocery shopping, like Patrick did with his daddy. They went grocery shopping. And some of the funny things that maybe she says or she's made, or dad has done some things. Maybe he's made you something special. And you remember it even though you may not play with it or it's put away because it was special. And you could talk about that. So you can make a little book or a journal if you want to of the activities and stuff. And the other thing is, if your friends that aren't with you right now and they're at their houses and you guys can't connect with each other on a personal basis, you know, seeing each other, and then of course you can make phone calls and you can text and you can email and do all of that, which would help us create the connection. And that's working on this problem of feeling separated from your friends and your family, and your life just doesn't feel the same, right? So one of the things that you can say that my mom suggested, which I thought was cool, she said on this, it says, from my hands to yours. Okay? And you could write that on the front of your book. You could do that with your friends, or, you know, from anything that you want to do. But you can create a really cool cover. And then putting it together is, you take your hole punch and you mark a couple places here. And if this is too thick, you can just do them one page at a time and then put them together. So we're just going to do 2 like this, okay, like that. So now we have the holes, and then we're going to think of things to say to put inside. Then we're just going to take a piece of string. You can actually do it. You can be about like that. If you want to, you can measure from your nose to your fingertips, and you got 36 inches. Not necessarily at your point, your size, but my size. That's what that is. So I did that, and then I brought the ribbon up from the bottom, not the ribbon, the yarn, on one side. Then I brought it up from the bottom, and I'm pretty sure you've made some of these before, but this is just a little reminder for you. And then brought it up this way. Pulled your yarn through. You've got it like that. And just tightened it. And you can make a bow and you make a knot too if you want to. It's up to you. You make a bow. And so now that you've got it together, you want it loose enough to where that you can turn the pages, okay? So you can turn the pages flat like that so that you can create other things with your photo album. I'm going to tie another bow here on top so I can get rid of the long piece of string, okay? So here's the other ways that we can connect with our friends and say, I remember when I did this, or I remember when you were when you did this with me, and you can write something next to the picture and then send it to them. And again, if you can't get it to go through the mail, if you can't get to the post office and stuff, what you can do is put it in an envelope, put their name on it, and you can put it in their mailbox or drop it off at their house. You can do either one. But again, do it where you're not, too close to them, because we want to be sure to remember that the best way for all of this to come to a conclusion and for everyone to stay safe and everyone to stay healthy is to follow the rules or the ideas that they've given us that will make life easier, and for this to come to an end quickly. The only way we can do that is by following the rules. And some of them are, you don't shake hands, you don't get too close to one another, and that's the reason why we're not in school right now, and lots of other things. But these are some of the actions that we can take to the problem that's affecting us. It's not something we created, but it's something we get to work with because it's affecting everybody. So this way, we're able to do something, to take some kind of action that makes it easier for everyone. And this is one of the activities that you can do. Now, with your picture, if you like to draw, you can draw the pictures, or you can do, like we said before, you can do magazine cutouts and do that. And the other fun thing that you can do is that if you're able to use your computer or have your mom or your dad help you, is to go through on some of the Google things that they have on the computer, and you can find maybe a funny little joke that you could write in there for them. You could write a joke, or you could tell a story. Maybe make up a story about what you think is happening in the picture. That would be kind of cool too. So I know we're all real creative like that. And then you can just write the story down for them and make a storybook for them. And if you don't have pictures of your friends, that would be one of the ways in which you can be creative and be inspiring. Like, let's say we wanted to send the book to, and I'll write some stuff here, that we wanted to send this to somebody that likes to cook, or they like to draw, or there's anything like that. And for drawing, as we made, I think last week, we made designs, and I'm going to make some here for you to see, but you just put your pencil down, we did this last week, and just go around and around and just make big designs like this. Okay, just swirl it through like that and go around. And so you can't see where it started, but you can see where it ended. So then what you could do is you can tell them to create a picture that you guys could share later. You can create a picture and color a picture on this. That would be kind of fun. That would be nice to do. And so you can create a picture, and it's like a stained glass kind of picture, and then create your story, or make a story up about the design that you went through and that you were doing. Make a story up. That would be fun too. So you can do that with your book. And you might have a favorite saying that you'd want to put in there. Maybe, what would you do? What kind of things would you possibly say? Maybe give them an affirmation. Is that I know that I miss you and I'll see you soon. You could put that in there. You could do all kinds of different things so that this makes it a very special book just to give to them. And like I said, if you didn't have pictures of them, you could definitely create things as I shared with the magazines and stuff. And then maybe on the back, you could get, call me and write your phone number down. Then they could give you a call. Or send me a message and put your email down. If you have an email, or maybe your mom and dad will let you use their email, and your friends can send you an email. So there's another one of the ways in which you could continue to stay connected. And it isn't necessarily just our friends and our families here. We have families in other states, like my other children live in Colorado, and I connect with them by text and by email. But I also like to send my grandson pictures. I'll draw pictures or send him things that I thought he might like to see, and things to do. Now we have Easter coming up next week. Maybe you could make an Easter card and send it to your grandparents, or send it to your, your cousins if you have cousins that live far away. You might want to do that. Just send them an Easter greeting or a spring greeting. Spring's coming, so we got lots of things to look forward to. The weather's changing, and you get to be outside more. The days are longer. So there's all kinds of fun things that you can do that can send a message. Another thing that you could probably do, if mom and dad have any of them around, is you could create a card, and inside the card put a balloon. Don't blow it up, obviously, because it won't fit in the envelope. But do a balloon. Put a balloon in there. Maybe write a message on the balloon if you can. And then send that to them in a card. And celebrate. Have a party. Celebrate yourself. So you could put a balloon in an envelope. That would be kind of fun, too. That was a fun, nice little prize for them to receive.